What happened here?
To be honest with you, it's a very petty fight that we're seeing between two companies, and it comes down to them both being strong competitors to each other, right? Amazon is making hardware now, Google's making hardware now. Amazon came out with Alexa, Google now has Google Assistant. Amazon has their video service and music service, Google has their music service now. So what's going on here? Well, the YouTube application on the Echo Show, this is Amazon's new popular speaker that has a touch screen for watching video and voice commands and such, no longer has a functioning YouTube application. The Fire TV, the set-top box that people can use to connect Amazon services to their big screens at home, it won't have YouTube support beginning January 1st.
Amazon says Google, James, is setting a dangerous precedent. What do you think?
I mean, look, I think petty is the right word for what we're seeing now, but I mean, these two companies are on a complete collision course, right? If you think about all the areas that they're competing, it's the advertising dollars that are starting to flow from Google over to Amazon, the Internet of Things with the smart speaker market, and then on top of that, you have the whole content endeavor. I think that what you're going to see from Amazon is potentially a subscription like YouTube TV type offering. So I think that these companies' collision course is the destination.
So, Mark, why aren't Amazon's videos available on Google devices? This as Amazon and Apple are deepening their partnership, and you can get Amazon Prime Video on Apple TV.
From a business perspective, at least to me, it actually makes very little sense. What companies should be doing, and Microsoft is a very good example of this, is putting their subscription services on as many platforms as possible. So that means they have so much of a user base, as many people as possible, to subscribe to their services. All Amazon is doing here by limiting Google's ability to have the Amazon Prime Video service on Google devices is having a less amount of people to subscribe to it. So in the end, they could be losing money here. But on the other side, it's a power move. It's a move they want leverage for certain things. Google's upset that Amazon doesn't sell the latest products on Amazon.com, the retail website. And Amazon is upset at Google because they're going on their turf. They have an Alexa competitor now as well.
So, James, they're both being petty. Doesn't it appear that way?
Yeah, I mean, it's petty, but the thing is, this is part of a much bigger fear that I think both companies have, and I think between the two, it's advantage Amazon, because all of those ad dollars that are at risk for Google are starting to flow over. The primary component for Google that's been a big driver is the product listing ads. You don't need those as much anymore if you go to Amazon. And then if you think about the content side, with the disproportionate amount of spending that Amazon's doing with their Prime Video versus Google, I think you're going to see bigger and bigger moves on their part, which puts YouTube at risk. So you have a lot of risks that Google's facing, so I don't really blame either company for trying to jockey until we see where the chips kind of fall.
Mark, would you agree it's advantage Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, I think Google's coming from the below approach here. They're sort of punching up because Google has this strong infrastructure. They're the ones that are making so much money in the ad business. They're really, I can see their perspective though, because what Amazon did is they created YouTube applications on themselves. They're not using Google-made YouTube apps like other companies do. Like on the iPhone, Apple worked with Google to make a Google-optimized YouTube app, which allows YouTube to get their ad dollars. Perhaps the Amazon approach makes sure that Google doesn't get as much ad revenue as they normally would have gotten on an in-house YouTube application. So I could see why Google would be upset. But either way, the thing to know here for those watching is that the only people really losing here are you, the customer.